So for this video, I'm going to be attempting to play Dredge without dredging. Now, I don't have any misconceptions that I'm actually not going to be able to beat the game. You can't go through the main storyline, or even really start it, without dredging. So my cutoff is, in the first part of the main story, you have to deliver an aberration to the fishmonger in the Marrows. This kicks everything off, but I will not be doing that mission. I will be allowing myself to do everything else in the game, because after that mission is when you get to dredge. So, without completing that mission, I just want to see how far I can get. As you will see, there will be a lot of problems with items such as wood, cloth, and metal. Refined metal and research items, while rare and not really nice to buy, are technically infinite because you can buy them. And as you will also see, the items, especially cloth, are very, well, not hard to find, but for an idiot like me, they sure were. So one of the first missions in the game comes from the fishmonger, who will task you to go catch some of the fish in the area, but it only makes you use the first two common rods. So I'm just going to skip past this part. So here we are with the fish puzzle, just going to be doing the curved fish. This allows me to get a fishing rod that has the shallow capability, and is also a cursed variant, so it's going to help us get aberrations later. So the dry dock is going to be an area where we might actually get soft locked, because this is where wood, cloth, and metal come in handy. So I'm going to try to only do some of this stuff when it's absolutely necessary, or if it's the only choice that's left. So if I were to clear out these three and the only thing left was hooks, then I would go for that, or if the new hole was the only one. But right now I don't have enough materials for all of these, so I'm going to focus on the nets, because I know for a fact once we get over to the Stellar Basin, we need nets to continue one of the quest lines. So I just got the mission to go deliver a package over to the dock worker, so also going to do that. Not hugely important, so just going to skip by that as well. So while I'm just waiting on the crab pot so I can finish the Marrows quest line, of course, other than 100%ing the fish and aberrations, I decided I was going to come over here and just grab the two DLC items, just because I really don't think that they are all too powerful and don't really defeat the purpose of this as a challenge. The purpose is not to dredge. Well, as you can see, we are in day 5, which is the first day that you could actually start catching aberrations. And I caught my first one. However, I cannot sell it, and I don't plan on going over to the cliffs or any other place. I could actually sell it to the traveling merchant, so just gonna drop it off. We just got the final crab, and if I'm not mistaken, that is the last one that we needed for this task. To be fair here, I don't think that there's much I'm going to be able to do other than 100% the book, do the eel quest for Dog Lady, and I guess there is some looting spots around these islands. But I don't think that there's very much else I could do, because doing the actual mission here requires dredging. Oh, motherfucker, I didn't see his eye. Okay, well. No more fishing until I get back. So here is the crab puzzle. Gonna go ahead and turn these in. Actually, I want to see something real quick. This is the way it's obviously intended for you to do it, but I'm pretty sure since these just don't really care how you put them in, just that you put the 3 in. Yep, it works like that. Honestly, I think I'm pretty much done with the cliffs for now, so I'm gonna go turn in this mission real quick and collect my crab pots and then head over to the basin. Heading over to the basin right now, but I'm going to use this moment to say this game is miserable without being able to use the boost. I feel like I move super slowly, so I think besides getting poles and nets just to be able to complete missions along the way, I think I'm going to be focusing mostly on engine power just to be able to zoom around the map a little bit quicker. Made a quick detour over to here to grab this shipwreck and desperately hope that there was a cloth, because I just realized I'm not going to be able to do anything at the Stellar Basin until I have nets. So here's the problem with this area. It only has one mission type, which is to get the fish for her, so then you could actually start doing other things. However, this fish can only be caught in a trawl. To use a trawl, I need one more cloth. So I pretty much just have to completely skip this area too until I get cloth. Cloth is seeming like it is going to be one of the biggest problems. Just kidding, you think I would forget about the good boy? Absolutely not. There we go. So I came here thinking that I was just gonna, speed run it. Well, not actually speed run it, but try to get done with the mission here as quick as possible because let's be honest, fuck the mind flayers. But then I remembered, you have to dredge for the plane parts. I'm starting to think that this game may not have been built with not dredging in mind. I have now done some research, however, it is hard to differentiate what cloth comes from dredging versus shipwrecks because for the average player, they don't care. So I have a fancy little map here that shows me every single spot in the game where cloth can be found. Now, I know for a fact a few of these places are just for dredging, such as, open my map here, around this area, and every around the Marrows. This area was where I found my first cloth. Reasonably sure the cloth down here is by the town, which can't get to. Gale Cliffs, pretty sure that's not a shipwreck either. Up in the Twisted Strand, pretty sure that's a dredge. The only two spots that might not be dredges, there at least I don't know of at the moment, are here and here near Devil's Spine. So I'm going to go check those and desperately hope that that is a shipwreck that has one cloth piece in it. Well, that's 1 out of 2 down. So this place is my last hope of getting a cloth piece. I am already unfortunately seeing dredge, metal, wood, treasure, and cloth. So with that, I am reasonably sure that there is no other cloth that you can get in this game. I'm going to check the other spots to make sure that those are dredge spots, but I am fairly confident they are. So that puts a big hamper on a lot of my plans. So after checking every single spot where you could possibly find cloth, I found that they are all dredge spots, at least according to this map. So I'm going to turn to the only source that I think could possibly help. And that would be the Dredge speedrunning server. So I'm going to go and just simply ask if they know of any glitches or any other spots that could possibly help. So in the meantime, I'm going to go start working on completing the fish encyclopedia as well as any other missions possible. And with the final engine bought, I think now my goal is to go finish off the other two fish puzzle things. Came to Twisted Strand because this one is just catching 2 aberrations, but then gonna need to head back down to the basin, and I believe that one is the shark one, which is gonna take a lot longer, and also gonna need better fishing rods, so decided to come do this one first. Here we are, gonna just turn these two in. Oh. I thought it was 2. Well, no matter. It's a good thing. Forgot that this needed the ghost shard. The ghost shark is abyssal. I don't think I'm going to be able to complete this one. Yep, I am pretty sure we're not going to be able to complete that one because Abyssal and Haddle require you to have these two or the rod that the researcher gives you. However, obviously can't do that because to do that, then I also need to have a troll net, and I can't have a troll net if I don't have cloth. The root of all evil is cloth, essentially. Also looking at it, out of all the big fish that you catch for the traveling merchant, only one of them am I going to be able to actually get, because it's not Haddle or Abyssal, it just happens to be Mangrove. I forgot I can't go back to here with that. Oh, Alt F4. Alright, let's hope that it saved me at the dock, but before I talked with the trader. My inventory? Okay, I still have them. Gonna go ahead and unfortunately just discard them. So unfortunately I looked it up, and the builder can also be done only after you get the dredging equipment. So not gonna be able to start that quest line. So I just looked again, and I think at that shipwreck there, apparently there is another cloth. If so, so many of my problems have just been solved. So please, just be one cloth. That is so good. So I'm gonna go to the dry dock. Net. Put in the final cloth. Purchase. And there we go. We can now actually get nets. Oh, that's actually so huge. I'm so glad I found that. I was gonna be so disappointed if for the rest of this it was just gonna be me catching fish. So, post-recording hacker here, and I just wanted to say that this had taken over 2 hours by this point, and I was fully convinced that there was no possible way that you could get cloth. As it turns out, this shipwreck probably could have gotten 5 minutes into the game. Also, just wanted to be known that Phrase did respond to my question and was very helpful. And there we go. The one fish that I thought was going to absolutely kill this whole entire run. Oh, you have got to be kidding me. There we go. What? You don't like it because it's an aberration? Okay. Okay. I'll go get a normal one. Alright, so with this squid, that should be the first step of the researcher's mission done. Oh, I did not expect this to take this long. And there we go. Finally going to the center. Wait, the fish in here are Haddle. That means I'm gonna have to go get some upgrades before I could even complete this mission. So, I think I'm gonna get the extra rod space just because I know there's no shot that there's gonna be any point in this game where I'm gonna be not able to complete something because of speed, and especially not because of light. Rod space, however, I also don't think is gonna become a problem that I can't handle, but I think it's definitely gonna help along the way. Alright, so we're turning in the final mission for the scientist right now. And just gonna go through all our dialogue options. And there we go. Pretty much done with the basin now. Oh, are you serious? Oh, come on. There's gotta be a way. That scared the shit out of me, I'm not gonna lie. And there we go. Done with the shark puzzle. And catching the other fish for the merchant. And I think that's the cliffs pretty much complete too. Just had to come drop off the photography equipment. Just to finish off that mission as well. Gonna go ahead and purchase the Fathomless winch, one of my favorite rods in the game, just because it allows you to catch 3 of the kind of harder to find, or the fish types that are harder to find rods for. Came over here to try to come pick up the castaway, do his mission real quick. Just requires you to take him over to Little Marrow. There we go. Get a nice bit of money from that. So my main goal here at the strand is just to go catch the fish for the merchant, and I think that's all I can actually do here. Well, that's a different problem. I don't think that we can actually explode things, because to get explosions you have to do the mission in the cliffs, and to do the mission in the cliffs you have to dredge for the family heirloom. So I decided to come over to the Devil's Spine, and I realized that in this area there isn't actually the guy that comes and talks to you to actually start this mission. I guess because this mission is technically a main story mission, so not going to be able to do that either. So you could still kind of do these like fish puzzle like things in this area, so I guess that's the mission for this area. Ah, I forgot that the fish for this area was also stuck behind rocks that I am not able to explode. So time to turn in the first one of these. And okay, so these are the ones that give you the Fathomless Flame. This is an actual story item that you go over to the island for, but since that person isn't there, essentially these are just useless. Everything else in here is good though. Are you shitting me? The fuck are you doing this far in? Oh, nope, just a ghost ship. Here we are at the second one, turning in the final thing, and getting the encrusted talisman. Alright, turning in the final one, and we get some, what would normally be really good supplies, but I don't know how useful it's going to be in this run. But with that, I think this area is completely done, other than obviously the cultists. So speaking about that, I think I still have to do the cultists, and I would like to, as stated before, get the ship as fully upgraded as possible. So I think those are my 2 final tasks. I'll check again to make sure, but I'm pretty decently sure. I think it's time I start doing the cult missions. There's 1. Here's number 2. Here we are at the final cultist. Dropping off the first fish for this cultist. Sailfish, forgot about that. That might be difficult. And here we are dropping off another fish. I think 1 more to go, and then we will be done. Fuck me. Alright. Here we are to drop off the final fish, and I think other than just doing some upgrades to the boat, that's all we have to do. So I'm actually starting to realize that with the ship setup, if the fishing rod point was here or here, I could do my favorite setup with fishing rods, but because it is set up in this position with the 1 extra, I cannot. So truly the best you can make a ship without dredging is using these 2. So we've also collected 11 of the 12 books. The last one is from the builder, who unfortunately we can't do. In terms of the pursuits, we have completed every single one we possibly can. We can't do this one because, as mentioned before, that's when you actually start getting the dredging tools. This one is after you do that same mission I was just talking about. These 2 require you to dredge, and the other ones do not pop up until you are done with being able to dredge or other mission markers that come after that point. We've also collected all the messages. So with this, we've done pretty much everything that you could do in Dredge without dredging. So, with all that completed, that is basically everything you can do in Dredge without dredging. We have collected these three, so that's essentially the fourth place done. We can't do much in the cliffs or Twisted Strand. Besides actually dredging the final piece, we're done with the basin. So, and we've pretty much done all the stuff for getting our ship as good as possible for this point. So, a little bit of a spoiler for the ending. The secret ending has you finding out that you and the collector are the same person. So, with that, that means we have the book on our person in the boat, but our guy's just too crazy to know. That ending also has us getting eaten by the giant monster with the boat. Now, obviously, we can't get that ending without dredging, but we could get pretty close. Hello there. So yeah, I'm pretty sure all we need to do is just get eaten, and that's the ending, right? Here we go. Wait, why aren't the credits rolling?